The life is a continuous process of protein synthesis directed by the DNA and RNA, which also able to perform the evolution with the help of natural selection. The life is able to produce itself and may not be able to produce itself. Example of the latter is the strile and the mule species of any race. In other words, life is a continuous process of the transformation of the energy into matter and matter into the energy with the help of DNA and RNA and etc. Whenever this transformation process ceases, it causes the death of life. Now come to the consciousness problem. Many notable scientists have tried to explore the problem of consciousness. For example, notably Heisenberg, Wiener, John A. Wheeler, Max Planck, and Dr. Erwin Schrödinger. Schrödinger is the renowned physicist who concluded in his book, What is Mind and What is Life, Mind and Matter. He only the possibly alternative consciousness which seems simple to keep the immediate experience of singular which plural is unknown. That is, there is only one thing that what seems to be plurally is immediately series of different aspect of the one and the same thing produced by the deception, that is Indian Maya. General hypothesis is summarized by him. The consciousness is associated with the learning and the living being. In brief, the consciousness is the phenomena in the zone of evolution which might have light itself. At the level of the microbiological phenomena, the scientist Antonio Damasio, Salk Institute of the Biological Studies, San Diego, concluded about the consciousness after the very long study of the neurobiological phenomena. The current description of the neurobiological phenomena is quite incomplete anyway you slice it. In fact, explanation of the physics related to the biological events is still incomplete. Consequently, declaring the consciousness mind problem is insoluble because of we have studied it the brain in the hilt of and have not found the mind is a ludicrous. We have not yet fully studied either neurobiology or its related physics. To explain the finest level of the description of the mind and swift construction, manipulation and superpositions of the many sensory organs might have required the explanation at the level of the quantum. Now come to the philosophy of the Vedanta. A renowned Indian monk, Swami Vivekananda, has delivered the lecture on the consciousness at 39 Victoria Street, London on November 25, 1896. He explained there is something outside of ourselves, the true nature of which is unknown and unknowable to us. Let us call it X. And there is something inside which is also unknown and unknowable to us. Let us call it Y. The knowable is the combination of X and Y. And everything that we know, therefore, must have two parts. One inside is the X and outside is the Y. The X and Y is the thing that we know. So, the very form in the universe partly is our creation and partly is something outside. Now that the Vedanta hold is that the X and the Y are the one and the same thing. There is no two things, X and Y. This is the Vedanta's philosophy. But the same problem and the puzzle of the consciousness has been explored by the many Western scientists like Dr. Steven Weinberg, David H. Chalmers, but none have reached to the conclusion. I would like to conclude the fact that we cannot fully understand how the human brain and mind and consciousness interact with outer environment and behave consciously and become aware of the outer world. There is a consciousness which creates the clear picture of motion and voice through our sensory organs, which reaches to the sensory portion of the brain at the last, and finally to recognize it by the picture and the voice. Further, the vibration which begins first time in the form of life, in the form of genes, are still in the functioning condition. Now, in context of the origin of life, what is consciousness force? I and we can assume that just a moment before the origin of life, all the molecules might have accumulated in this membrane or the water membrane are coacervate, such as amino acids, proteins, ATP, ADP, and DNA, RNA, and enzymes also some. All that in the chaotic conditions. They have no any function at present. According to the Kaufman, might have transformed spontaneously into the autocatalytic system. I conclude in the view of the Gita to harmonize all the biochemicals like life-oriented phenomena, and the consciousness force might have acted on it and manifest the life just to start the transformation from energy into matter and vice versa. If we go through the whole evolutionary process of living being and the mankind, we can divide it into the 6 stages of consciousness and 5 stages of the mind. The first consciousness of in the matter, that is stage first, and mind here is 0. The second, the evolution of the consciousness in the life is the second stage of the consciousness, and mind is 1. Third, the evolution of the eukaryotic cell, the consciousness is third and the mind is 2. The evolution of sexual reproduction in the plant and animal is the stage of the consciousness third and mind is 2. The evolution of multicellular animals consciousness stage is the 4, but mind is 3. The evolution of the reptilian consciousness, the consciousness stage is 5 and the mind stage is 4. The evolution of the highest consciousness in human being is the stage 6 of consciousness and stage 4 of the mind. In context, I would like to present one poem of the Sri Aurobindo. he wrote, neither seed can explain the tree, nor tree can explain the seed. Both are explained by the cosmos. And cosmos is explained by the super consciousness, that is God. The Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham bija pradapita. Aham bija pradapita. Meaning the cosmic power of the primal energy is He Himself. Is He Himself. Again, the cosmic power to manifest the life on the earth is He Himself. Science does not have any answer to this question. From where did the energy come which has been mentioned in the Big Bang theory, the first dynamic, powerful and unlimited energy? The Lord Krishna, cosmic self, wanted to say to Arjuna that I am the great seed of the universe. The student of the Gita might, during the reflection, come to the wrong conclusion altogether, as in much as in the outer world. The seed itself transforms into the tree. Similarly, Lord Krishna, while creating the universe, might have destroyed himself to remove this conception. To remove this conception, the Lord Krishna says that here, none can exist without me. None can exist without me, neither moving nor unmoving. Life is the cause, and cause with the no apparent cause. Life is a ever-flowing, beginningless, endless chain of consciousness. I would like to emphasize one who is very historical poet, who also given in Hindi. न ये कभी रुकती है, न बुझती है, न ठहरी है कहीं, नूर की बूंद है सदियों से बहा करती है. The consciousness force is essential to manifest life in the matter. It is the blueprint of the life principle. I would like to invite all of you who are interested to undergo the Indian philosophy approaches towards the subject, come to India and undergo the systematic yoga and meditation, experience yourself. Thanking you, all of you who has paid attention on this lecture. Thanks.